A South Texas man facing a serious blood disorder was preparing for what could have been a long search for a stem cell donor match. We first set out to share his story to help encourage more people to register as donors. But as we found out, sometimes life can change even before the camera starts rolling.
This picture.
Above the dresser, a reminder of where it all began.
I was 19 years old and Paul was about, 24.
Nearly 51 years later, Paul and Nora Medina are still side by side, but behind the smiles is a marriage built on something deeper.
But you can be with anybody during the good times. It's the hard times that matters.
Paul was diagnosed years ago with a blood disorder, but after new testing this year,
that's when they found out that I had something bad in the bone marrow that was getting close to a leukemia.
He would need a stem cell transplant.
I was scared, frightened, thought I might lose my husband.
Nora went into action immediately.
I wasn't going to sit at home.
No, thank you.
One of the first calls she made was to a longtime friend, Leticia Madrigan.
It hit home for me.
It just so happens Leticia works for the National Marrow Donor Program, or NMDP.
75% of all individuals that are diagnosed with a blood cancer, blood disorder need to find an unrelated donor.
When we first started this story, the goal was simple, to help find Paul a match. But between setting up the interview and arriving at their front door, everything changed.
I feel like I'm awake.
Just like that, the call came in. There was a match.
I was overjoyed with excitement.
For Paul, a retired respiratory therapist who spent more than 5 decades helping patients, is now the one relying on the kindness of someone else.
I've always tried to help people, but I got the help this time.
Paul is one of the lucky ones.
Paul Medina was very fortunate that he found his right away. We have some that it takes months or years, and some that never found their match.
There are thousands of patients who are still waiting for that same call. And Leticia says the need is especially urgent for Latino patients.
Hispanic patients only have a 48% chance of finding their match.
My beautiful wife for almost 51 years.
Soon, Paul and Nora will head to San Antonio for the next step in his treatment. They'll face it the same way they always have, together.
What I want is people to be aware of that it can happen to anyone.
And Paul and Nora are expecting to be in San Antonio for 100 days. We wish him the best in his medical journey. While Paul may have found his match, thousands of others are still waiting for theirs. If you would like to register as a potential donor, you can text Paul Strong to 61474 to begin that process.